Kick her off the way, on that one. It's a bit low down.
Are you affordable more seafarers than all the other manufacturers put together? And they all have a horse on the front. There is a reason for that. If you find me in the beer tent later, I will tell you. This is followed by entry number 2 in your programme, a very fine Boral single-cam compound agricultural engine. First working by Strumpshaw. Owned by Carl Fisher and Tom Wing, who are at the controls today. And the single-cam compound engine was Boral's attempt to create a more economical engine compared to the ordinary single-cylinder, but with greater simplicity to suit the greater simplicity of the average Boral driver.
Get over that, will it? Stall that, I should imagine.
Yeah.
Number 4 is a Boral Traction. This is called the Lurcher. It's an 8 horsepower, 1921. Engine work, fresh in Essex, and a tractor straight to work by the first owner in the 1960s. During on to travel many miles as including an excursion to the West Country and our own speed in 2015. And it's owned by Sentinel. So lovely engine that one, 8 horsepower big traction engine, single cylinder, private engine that's contracted with use, struggling from farm to farm, stretching, and interestingly here at Strumpshaw this weekend, this engine was actually new to the family. This is owned by John Boy, owned by the Gilbert family with John Gilbert driving, and this is actually a new build engine, it's not now, but it was built in 2007. And recently had the hydraulic pieces, one is a continuation of phosphorus, which is Dawson for Fisher, and a milestone this year because the build the engine was actually done at Strumpshaw in 2005. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. This is a whole SCC 73 megahertz, 6 horsepower gas, then whole working line for the sea, short back by 507, and of course it's present condition and a horizontal plant. But road locomotives, that one you see the ordinary agricultural engine. The road loco was designed to travel heavy goods over long distances. It had higher speed gearing and skidding, and often fitted with a front tank as well to increase the distance between water stops. And that's an interesting engine because it spends its working life abroad. Number 23 in the programme is Mr. Maynard's big Boral. This is an engine that spends its working life in New Zealand. And I will not be told otherwise by any expert. Here is a load by Dave's Lane, and it's an engine that was really important via Australia and travelled on a few valleys and then had a long restoration which Terry with the help of Terry completed. And a very smart machine. Okay, next one's number 35. It's amazing the portion of the steel tractor. This one called Sentinel. It's a 4 horsepower, 1920. provided one of a batch of 4 steam tractors per Hertfordshire, sorry, Hertfordshire Council, using from the 1950s for haulage and threshing, previously valued by features of energy travelled 15,000 miles to events under sea, and the purchase by Strumpshaw in 2023, and already has travelled many miles on the Great Deal again, as overseen by Jamie and Emily Jennings. Now there's the ailing tractor. So a steam tractor is not an agricultural machine, like the modern tractor is the right haulage engine, so it's the smaller equivalent of the Bull Road engine which will come around earlier. Then this is followed by Buster. Buster is an ailing roller, works for Essex County Council. And this is been spent much of its career stood on the depot with over a world road on it, so nobody wanted to drive it. Has the accolade sent to roller that never in spent his worst day ever on road with a steam engine ever in his life. After Jones purchased the roller, he passed it up on various yards all over the country in many millions and thousands of pieces, and eventually set through, and with the help of many friends and experts, he managed to reconstruct it into the fine specimen it is now, that he's brought here all the way from Aberdeen for me to say nasty things about. Okay, next one is a Marshall convertible steam tractor called the Herbert. It's 5 horsepower from 1901. Engine spent his first 2 years of work on a farm in Scotland. 1914 was sent to France for a new gun and had over the war at her. Returned to England in 1919 to Devon Council and was converted to a roller. It was rebuilt as a tractor engine in the mid-1970s and it was purchased by Sentinel in July 2012, as I was driven by Peter and Jenny Cooper. There we are, long-term exhibitors, Pete and Jenny here at Strumpshaw. Peter Wyatt, please Jenny pointed out just how many years he's been coming forward for their attention to things. He goes with the number up on the program. It's just amazing stuff there. It's a 9-inch folding wagon, both bus. Very smart machine, built a few years ago. And very nice, I understand, it's up in the playpen or in the top ring, giving rise to the public steering. So very nice. Okay, this one's a 4-seat steam tractor called Upper, and 4 horsepower 1919. The future obviously rules of the council, as with all of the special high wheels that fitted this side on the fire. Made the first reference to the council, following the presentation and railway to the railway on the 70s. Sorry. As soon as we overhauled on a previous element, we intended on turning the climate here, practice my tractor and take a course. There we are, very smart engine, and this is typical of the later type of rear wheels that go fitted to their 10cc tractor. A popular tractor that will claim the wear in the gears apparently. This is followed by Mr. Ray, who is checking me over. I'll let you stop there. I haven't got my yellow coat on, I shouldn't be doing that. Yeah. So there we are, a little bit of history for this one. So a good local roller, and the gentleman in the passenger seat, Derek, he used to ride in the wagon, and his father used to drive it, and he said he's going to say a few words about it. As understood by Andrew and Nicky Caldo. This is the deluxe version, you see, with the pump-up tyres, and Andrew, along with his friend Chris, who's driving the wagon in front, drove the wagon here under its own steam on Sunday from Fordham in Cambridgeshire. A good trip, a nice comfortable wagon like that, get along nicely. It shows a beautiful shiny thing around behind it when it travels. This is one of Mr. White's ex-King Frozen steam wagon, 6-ton wagon this one, and as you can see they are the forerunner of the modern lorry. So this one is an overtype wagon. They had the engine over the top of the boiler, and undertype has it underneath.
Last night we had a few beers and my mate lost his lecture. The very boys crowd that made the police had to be towards it.
We've got enough spares to do the whole person in the lost property. So there we are. So that's the home wagon. I hope I missed the white. Oh, very good, very good. Right, okay, next up, 39 is a garage steam tractor. This is a Venturex, 4 horsepower. It was new to the Ministry of Ammunition when the start of the building house in West Sussex. Finishing working lights with thorough falling, and they're pretty much known as a Scottish gear and Toma gear, and going on and driven by Royal Blue. So there we are, that's an engine that's been here before on its previous ownership, and it's nice to see that here at Strumpshaw. Now this is followed by Richie Haddon with his alien tractor. We've had one alien tractor around, this is the other, known as Duke of Norfolk. Used to mark the council with 2 drivers, and they were very popular alien tractors with local authorities, council machines doing the equivalent really is nowadays tractor pickup that they were used for hauling road building material and all sorts of things like that. Another regular here at Strumpshaw over the years as well. Okay, this was on a transit Clayton and Shuttleworth Agricultural engine, 7 horsepower from 1918. It was due to the War Department in 1918, worked commercially for 2 owners pushing until 1952. Sold for preservation by David Philpott in 1961 and sold for current owners in 23. Was owned by Neil and Tracy Earl. Apparently it's just getting very after the cat, which is really in the subtitle. It's not just a commentator. Interesting as well, you see a lot of the engines here are lined out. This one isn't, and I'm told by Neil that that is correct for a ministry spec plate traction engine. And that's followed by number 8. Number 8 is the Dutch test. Barrel single tank compound engine, another one which we've seen here many times in the past. This one fitted with a half cab. I thought the 2 pounds of the 7 table of it. A lovely picture of it in the park here at Strumpshaw in the 1970s with the Winchrow Hotel. It had many owners all in Norfolk, but it was bought by 15 Haylock. He was the first owner outside the county of Norfolk. And then with the engines in the capable hands of Phil Starling, who takes it to many rallies and also brings it back to Norfolk a few times a year. Okay, this number 3 is Royal SEC Agricultural Industry Sales Order. The 6 horsepower, 1905. It was used to the Australian and foreign especially owned by the local owners of the University of Sussex. The fourth of the war was that Strumpshaw in 2003. Next time the Strumpshaw of Cardiff. Michael loved to be the renovation in 2015, and the John Stoddard ever got to see this the full drive. And first owner after the 2018, and it's owned by the Reece. And finally, Mr. Frank Walker with his life of the build steam car. Interesting things steam cars, they're not coal fired like the traction engine. They use a paraffin burner and some light steam in a little of 15 minutes. Okay, that's like the barrel window, it's still there. Forward front, this one, 1912. This one, the right wise, it's forward front, the forward front here. One of the last one, the forward front, by the first. Forward front, the middle front, with the turret. One that had an expensive, but it's still restoration for working in recent years. And it's over there. Another engine there, Mr. Mellor, all the way from the south of England with his Pearl Surprise, which recently completed the London to Brighton run. The engine's been here before in the ownership of Charlie Spearman, who we all remember. And I'm told that the break is supposed to come via the low bridge Brundle. Well, a good 3 years ago now, when Charlie was coming here, he tried to come via the low bridge in Brundle, and he stopped his low loader, took the chimney off, and got his wife to sit on the back of our loader and hold it. just holding on to go under the bridge instead. He put the stock in the yard here. He was very, very cross. So this one there, this is the fire, the ball track, the country, I trust still has been seven. We used to have to do this way, the same way. We have a very big water pressure over the whole most other basin and standards. That's the reservation by Mr. Curran, Mr. Sentinel, and is owned by Mr. Brown today. Yeah, plenty of speed today, and it's here today by the bunch of what's name. Interesting old engine that. It's funny that one of the earliest, or is the earliest barrel agricultural engine, and also on the site we had the last barrel agricultural engine to be built on sector, just coming in India. This is followed by Mr. Flower. Now we're tracking this one, and interestingly presented on through wheels, as it would have been when it was new. Been completely overhauled by the owner, Robert Tyler, his good lady, his steering, regular here at Strumpshaw, and nothing to fear. Okay, so there's a Rusty crossover submarine in this Rusty. It's 10 tons, 7 horsepower, engine has been dismissed to the file, Norfolk, and cost of £519. There's WM Walnut Bristol, a question contractor, last day of session on the 26th of May 1949, and then the Robert Farm. 400 normal late was the wheel, 1966 from Evidence Strumpshaw and Tree, and it's been in the wheel family for 59 years, as I was with them inside. Another one of our proper regulars, this one, and also presented on steel wheels. You can see why a lot of people sit on other sides, particularly if they want to do road work. There's a road surface that's so much harder these days, but it is nice to see an engine presented as it would have been. And this is followed by Tessie, the garage family's Marshall. It's an engine that was sold newly via the famous engine dealers used for those slow markets. So good commercial license owner. And more recently it's been purchased by John and his family, and it's recently undergone boiler work, a new car box and all the rest of it, and Holmes' road test as I can tell, and that's been delayed by Sean and Barney Harris. Anyone on the road this is the rest of the Horses Road Hour, 12.5 miles one, 1922. These are heading with the same contractors and castles, working from 1950 from stores from purchased by builders to the first hour worked on 1.110. Has been purchased by the present owner in 2017 and £100.7. Another new one for this year here at Strumpshaw. As I said earlier, Avelin saw more rollers than all the other manufacturers put together, but most other manufacturers did have a nose, and the Ruston effort is particularly fine. They now have rotary. So I mentioned earlier we've got the oldest barrel traction engine, which is the last barrel traction engine to be built in the Bedford before they grew themselves into a brilliant with ATE. Owned by the Freeman family from Ford End, always immaculately turned out, and pleasure to see it here. And we went on to a family menagerie which travelled the rest of the country this year. And Lincoln has been thoroughly restored, but not overdone, not standardised like some of them would be. There, and that's over by the tractor.
No.
So we've had Avelin tractors. This is the Foster. This one works for Shackles Limited, the Cricklewood. Attended the first Hatton Rally in 1971, and is now owned by the Smith family. Okay, next guys is our central steam wagon, the Tiger, this one. It's Sentinel until 1934 and is owned and driven by the Smith family. And he has got delivery there. There we are, the Sentinel wagon is an underside wagon. So as you were saying, Keston, earlier, and I know you all were, an oversized wagon has the engine above the boiler like a normal traction engine. A Sentinel has it down underneath. Recently put the new rubber tyres on the front, got soft black tyres on the back, a paste from the back cap. And that is owned and driven. Then it's the stock funding. The owners will see having wires on tunnel tires about all the brake paste holes. This is not for the next best inlet, and it's steered by the lovely Adam Gerald. This is a Volvo 16 traction engine, this is Achilles, it's 7 horsepower, built 1910, Rudy James Penfold Arundel, and used a special crushing rotor and haulage. So you can also follow the street base for an 1954. But as we see here, new firebox and just off on his back. So another one of that,
yeah, the steering box on it, like a massive plane.
And again, this one is going to half down to keep the drizzle off your head, but we're not having any of that today. And this is followed by Major. Major was manufactured by the well-known manufacturer of the municipal brass cutting machinery, Ransoms. And she was built for over 10, test the wider than standard rear wheels. And the engine was installed by James Howard and then sold to the Green family, who got on to really enjoy the engine over many miles. Ransom's engines very popular for export, particularly to Russia and Ireland, being rugged and simple, something like the driver. So I'm amazed to see standing up with them and say that it outside the beer tent last night. And it's steered by Marcus Davis and attended by Dr. Bell with all his teeth and Mark sitting on the back seat with an ion check.
Yeah.
This is a firework overclock engine, this is contest. It's a 6 horsepower, built 1909. No, not 8 even, is it? Built on September 11, 1928 in Halifax. Spent part of the Second World War as a power source for a carpet factory. And those on the driven by the old business. A lovely pair of dependent oil lamps on the front there as well. Recently fitted with a Fowler pattern half tab. That's an engine that directly attended Strumpshaw when it was owned by Rocky Simpson. It now got 2 engines. I did that for a couple of years ago, but I prefer that. Okay, this one over the 23 down and show the track in the principle. It's 4 horsepower, the top one right in 18, the receiving stage 175, purchasing 1940 by the Sentinel from the great sign. Started very roughly 1942 and was used for 7 weeks in the garage at Scotland. It was loaded distribution from the sales on the 2nd in 2007 and has been completely rebuilt to showroom specifications by the owner in the Helmet direction for his dad, Dave.
Yeah.
And also carried away all the smut and muck from any of the fairgoers. It was really definitely bring the fair where the weather works, not to look pretty. This is another one that started life as a power roller. The owner, Steve, carried out an awful lot of work on it, really making the wheels and everything, and it's never turned out in an immaculate condition, right? You might have stairs in Barcode. The Sentinel shell trailer to the 4 horsepower engine. It's a scope limit. It's 5 horsepower, 1921. The price due to Germany Sentinel of Warwickshire, landowner. It's also eyes to the front in North Devon, working in haulage before being sold at the reservation to CW Gascoigne and Approved John Mabry, who's the first thing to the showroom for us here today. The engine is certainly the hall for the first owners, led by Richard and Linda Millman. Another engine that's attended Strumpshaw here quite a few times. They even featured in our publicity photos got good boys in the past, and always nice to see it. Finally, Sentinel has a coastal engine. This one is Valiant. Years ago it was owned by the late Albert King. And we used to use it to race the dog on our rushes. The rush of the first always used to win because it was superior machine. It's been owned for a number of years now by the Blast family, driven by Stephen, and assisted by Will.
Nice one.
Okay, there's number 15 from the Staff Local Crossing from Fort Old Nick. It's 705 1908. They refused to go with the Whitney option. They passed the goal on the front. Worked well for 1940 and sold to Yorkshire for wood flooring business. Rescue for preservation by the late Sentinel. They restored the engine to normal conditions, standing it after its sun. Subsequently owned by John Robinson of Melbourne in Essex and Melbourne in our region. Purchased by the Eagle family in 1935 and especially visited at Strumpshaw by Ernest Eagle family. Making work hasn't carried out on the engine between 2015 and 2023, finally completed with the painting and the Austin steam charges. Here they are, it's today. And that is the very deserving recipient of our Best Steam Exhibit trophy here at Strumpshaw. Except we didn't present it here at Strumpshaw because it was all too wet. So I just... So look at those in the sun here at Strumpshaw this weekend, absolutely superb. And thanks to everybody for bringing them along as well. We were private effort cleaning them and bringing them over here for us to see.
Don't get off me, Dad.
So if you're all ready with our vessels, don't forget to protect your ears, ladies and gentlemen.